A warm greetings everyone. The topic of today's video is Study Smart, Not Hard. I am Ajay Prada, Assistant Professor of English, VV Bunny Penmal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Now, have you ever wondered why studying feels so hard or so difficult for you? Even at times you may feel so bored. If that is so, then you have not chosen the right strategy to study. Let me introduce to you the visual, auditory, kinesthetic learning styles. In short, we call it as VAK learning model. The first one is the visual learners. Visual learners, their concentration sticks to whatever they see through their eyes. For instance, if a person studies a particular text, and when they go for an examination and when they try to recall and when they get a glimpse of actual text what they have studied, then they are visual learners. The next category is auditory learners. Auditory learners are the ones who have great auditory sense. It is not just about hearing, rather listening, and by listening, the brain can store all the information. For instance, if a person is seated in the examination and when he or she tries to recall the information, recall the knowledge, and when the person gets the actual audio of a teacher teaching him in the class or some other video the words he can hear the words. So when a person can do that, he is an auditory learner. The third category is kinesthetic learner. Kinesthetic learners are the ones who need some hands-on experience while studying. So they cannot just simply listen or they cannot just simply go through the text. Rather, they need some hands-on experience which can be provided by taking notes, having some pencil and marking the important things, or even walking while studying, or just having more practical sessions, even listening music while studying. All these things can involve these kinesthetic learners much into studying. So know to which category you belong to and then concentrate more on that particular category. Now, this is my question to you. When you want to learn the lyrics of a new released song, what will you do? When you want to learn, what is your strategy? Option A, Google for the lyrics. Whether do you Google for the lyrics in the to learn about the song? The option B is sing along to the song. Option C is dance to the music to get familiar. In what way you feel the familiarity with the lyrics? Just introspect yourself. Now I'm going to explain this. If you are googling for the lyrics, then it is like you are a visual learner because it is actually a song you can hear, but here the lyrics you can get hold of the lyrics only by going through the Google and seeing the lyrics through your eyes. So you are a visual learner. If you sing along to the song, here you don't need any perception through eyes, rather you will be just hearing and at a time you'll be able to catch up the lyrics. Then it is that you are auditory learner. If you are a person who tries to dance and who tries to give expressions and finally you come to know the lyrics of a particular song, then that is like you are a kinesthetic learner. Hence, identify what sort of a learner you are. Learning strategies. Let me tell you a small tips. The first one is absorption. So whenever information is about to be processed, you have to absorb. Whenever a teacher talks about a particular topic or even you go to a YouTube video for a knowledge, you have to absorb. Firstly, you have to gain that knowledge. So with no distractions, you have to absorb the knowledge within you. And the next one is understand. Now it is a part of your brain. Your brain will be trying to understand what is being taught, why you are learning that, how it is so relevant. So all this understanding part will be taken up by our brain. Understanding can be done only by the means of absorption, proper listening. The third one is remembering. Remembering is when it is not just with understanding, but you have to remember, okay, this is the fact, we have to remember this, and only when you remember, you can progress with the next stage, or else you will stay stagnant here itself. Now coming to the next one, accessing. Accessing is when now you understood, remembered, and you have now the larger space to access whether what is relevant for you, where you feel so interested, what is wrong with the others' concepts. You can just access through the things. And the final stage is like a responding. When you complete all these four stages successfully, you can now produce more information on a particular topic. You can do researches and you can respond to any questions that are raised in that particular arena. So these are the five learning steps. Now, the healthy learning habits. Firstly, you have to state your intention. Like without any purpose, without any goal, studying things, it is not going to value and you cannot concentrate it. Firstly, you have to have an intention, whether it can be gaining, scoring high marks in the examination, or it is like uh, acquiring more knowledge, anything it can be, but there should be a proper intention. The next one is concentration. You have to avoid distractions to concentrate better. Our brain is used to distractions, but you have to avoid it. Even biting nails can cause distraction. That is why whenever you are paying attention to something, try to avoid the distractions from the external force. The third thing is organize your study area. Everyone will be having a particular study location. Either it can be inside the house, outside the house, upstairs, terrace, anywhere it can be. But the concept is whenever you get seated in your particular study area, study location, be seated with all the equipments you require, like paper, pencil, pad, everything that is required. Because for a particular thing, you should not move out of that area, like to take something, and then you will automatically get distracted. Your focus, your attention, your brain activity, everything will be collapsed. So organize your study area with all the necessary materials. The fourth one is prioritize your study time. So some of you may be morning people, like your brain feels so fresh during the morning, and some of you feel so fresh only during the night time, the nocturnal people. So know at which time your brain remains active, and during that time, just take up your book and start studying. Don't go for the contradictions. The fifth one is begin with challenging difficult areas in a subject. This is because your brain tends to expand. So if you start with an easy subject and then go for a difficult one, your brain will feel lazy, your brain will feel bored and it will lose interest. But if you start with a difficult one, automatically your brain will expand to a maximum level. So when you get back to a easier subject, then automatically your brain feels so easy to study anything that is given to you in a simple format. So that is why this strategy helps a lot when you go for theoretical things. Now, learning tactics. Mind mapping is a way to recall because you cannot repeatedly go into the text, into the detailed descriptions again and again. It can cause you boredom as well as during the examination time, you cannot do that definitely. So, here are the tactic called as mind mapping, by which you can just recall the ideas quickly and you can rock in the exam. And the next one is marking your text. Even though you are an auditory learner or kinesthetic learner, marking your text has an important value. So whenever you mark something, the text, the color, there is a background, everything will have an impact in your brain. So when you try to recall, the highlighted ones will definitely come to your brain and you can make it quick. And learning tactics also includes making notes. Making notes is not like just jotting down things, but it is with heading, subheading, and keywords that makes it so perfect and that makes you recall much better. And also set your own question paper. Whenever you come across something difficult or whenever you are introduced to a new concept, just write few questions nearby. So whenever you get back to the thing, go for the questions first, try to answer them. If you are able to answer, that is much better. If you are not able to, just once again read through and find the answers. So repeatedly if you do that, automatically you can gain a good knowledge as well as good understanding of that particular text. The next one is use memory tricks, the last one. So rhyme patterns. Memory tricks includes the rhyme patterns. Rhyme patterns, like that is why we are familiar with songs and nursery names much better. So rhyme patterns help a lot. Also you can employ acronyms in that. And recall. So when you recall again and again, the short-term memory, whatever that is stored in the short-term memory, that gets converted into a long-term memory and that helps you recall often. and 20% read and 80% recite. That is a one productive way for you to go through a subject, because reading is something you are taking into view, but reciting is something you are producing about your understanding about that particular subject. So that is also equally important. And the fourth concept is understand. You have to understand things first of all. It is not like simply memorizing, simply accepting everything, but you have to understand. And if you feel something contradictory, just go for a research and you will not forget the concept. So, these are all the strategies by me. Thank you so much for listening and keep rocking. Choose your right path and then succeed. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you much.